I think the best thing we can do today is do a little transfer update video, because the world of West Ham transfers has gone absolutely mad. If you like your transfer gossip, if you like your transfer speculation, then honestly, you're in your element at the moment. You really are. So this is the news and the latest updates as of, let's call it 11:15 on Friday afternoon. I did the video last night, and when I did the video, the transfer triple whammy video, I said, I know I'm going to publish this video and the news is just going to change really quickly. It did, and it will continue to do so. Where it changed last night was off the back of a number of, let's be fair, contradictory social media updates from the three main Sky Sports protagonists. That's Darmstadt, that's Florian Plettenberg and Patrick Berger. Plettenberg and Berger are both the Sky Sports Germany correspondents. They're going to be sources that are close to the news, right? Because, well, clearly they're based in Germany. Our own Darmstadt over here. It was... Well, basically, they turned around and said the deal for Niclas Füllkrug had hit a stumbling block. The West Ham had only wanted to bid 25 million euros for the player. Dortmund were holding out for 30. And because of that, it had brought back the prospect of signing Jhon Duran. Now, I was a little bit gobsmacked because I'd just done a video, but ultimately it wasn't a massive surprise to me. As you know, if you're regular watchers of this channel, I've been cynical, completely cynical with this Füllkrug thing from the off. I did suspect it was a smokescreen for Duran, but I think Gio's alluded to this earlier. I'd sort of been, despite those being my beliefs, I'd sort of been swayed by news that he wanted to come to West Ham, even though that contradicted what Plettenberg had said 3 days ago. Myself and Gio did a video 3 days ago, and Plettenberg said he doesn't want to leave Germany. Yet, despite knowing that, I was brought round, I basically, come on, I was led on the lead, come on you, into the belief that we were going to sign this guy, and we still might. Look, let me get this absolutely right. He is our second choice at the moment. That's where I think we are. He may even be our third choice, but it looks like the Ivan Toney stuff is going in a completely separate direction. But the first choice remains Jhon Duran from Aston Villa. The report became particularly unbelievable, though, because Plettenberg himself had said that Aston Villa are now willing to drop their price to 30 million euros. Will they hell? Will they hell? Look, they turned down 37 million pounds from West Ham. So they're not going to suddenly take 30 million euros just because they've seen us being linked with... Doesn't he look... doesn't Füllkrug look like Tim Stuyton's son? I think there's something really dodgy going on here, by the way. Or if Tim Stuyton had a baby with Alexander Usyk and Minty from EastEnders, I think he'd look like Füllkrug, basically. Anyway, I'm not suggesting that. It may have done. Stranger things haven't. That's never. Even in today's modern world, unfortunately, Alexander Usyk, Tim Stuyton and Minty from EastEnders can't get together and make a baby. Yet, anyway, he looks a little bit like that. My point is, I think we are interested. I think we're half interested. So I was unsurprised to see unsurprised to see the Füllkrug deal sort of falter when it got to the end. I think we're stalling. I think we're biding time. I think ideally we would like Duran. So I was told a couple of days ago, because I called poppycock. I got the poppycockometer out on Niclas Füllkrug, if you pardon the expression. And people were saying, you need to retract that. Look, I will retract it if he signs. But until he's holding up the West Ham Speedos in front of the West Ham media team, I'm not eating any humble pie. The humble pie is in the fridge at the moment, right? So we'll wait on that. Oh, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. What are we going to talk about this one? It's all changed. It's all changed. It changes. It's crazy. So yesterday, we were close to a deal with agreed personal terms of him, but Manchester United were holding out for 18 million. But they've had something of a defensive injury crisis since then. And it appears that they need to go out and buy 2 players now. They need to go and buy, as well as finding the right back, they need to go and buy, they want to go and buy De Ligt, possibly. That might be Delicious De Ligt. That'd be a good one. Why can't we sign him? That would be a bloody good nickname. We always like a player with a good nickname over here at Hammers Chat. Anyway, looks like Manchester United want to sign him. They're desperate for funds. It looks like that 18 million valuation has dropped by 8 million today. In fact, I've got a very... I'm going to read this out to you now. This is from Darmestadt. he's basically reported growing optimism West Ham can strike a deal for Manchester United right back Aaron Obi-Wan, but he didn't do Obi-Wan. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the club remains in talks over a fee and structure. Wan-Bissaka is understood to be keen on the move, and personal terms are not expected to be a problem. I'll just tell you what he said about Füllkrug. He said, West Ham are working hard to finalise a deal with Borussia Dortmund forward Niclas Füllkrug. The player is understood to be keen on the move. They're all understood to be keen on the move, aren't they? Unless you speak to Florian Plettenberg, in which case he's not keen on the move and wants to stay in Germany. Confused? You bloody should be. It said there's still work to do to get the full club agreement. West Ham are hopeful they can conclude a deal, but are prepared to walk away if the finances aren't right. That's what we said to Aston Villa as well. By the way, I think West Ham are playing a bit of a blinder at the moment. I think there's a lot of misinformation, a bit of fake news. I think for once we're using the media to our own advantage. I think it's worked with Summerville. I said it a few days ago on the Summerville video. I said there's, whatever it was, might have been Wednesday I did a Summerville video, something like that. I said I suspect we're playing it here, and I'm not ruling out. Wasn't sure West Ham had walked away. I certainly wasn't sure any club would come in and bid £40 million for Summerville. There ain't that many clubs that have got that sort of money. West Ham have at the moment. Must have done a bank robbery or something. It said West Ham are still looking at other options, including long-term target Jhon Duran from Aston Villa. Despite lengthy talks, they were unable to come to an agreement with Villa. That much we know. Which brings us on to Jimmy Somerville. Okay, so what does Dharma Chef say in here? Let me just move you out of the way. It says, Crysencio Summerville will have the second part of his West Ham medical this morning. That's today, now. It's hoped he can finalise his move from Leeds soon after. Now, I guess we've got to deal with that update a little bit. All being well, West Ham want to make a decision on whether he would benefit from flying to the USA for the remainder of the club's pre-season tour or stay in London. The deal was agreed on Thursday. This is in stark contrast to Plettenberg, who last night said, by the way, he passed the first part of his medical yesterday. The next part's today. I did inquire as to why that was. I think they're held at separate hospitals, basically. So he was in Spire Roding yesterday, which is now Spire London Hospital. I think that's what it's called now anyway, but whatever. He's somewhere else today. He passed it with no problems at all. But Florian Plettenberg yesterday suggested that West Ham had not... I told you this, that West Ham had not agreed a deal with Leeds and had not agreed a deal with... West Ham not agreed to deal with a player or a deal with Leeds. I discount that. I disbelieve it. And to be fair, Dharma Chef doesn't even particularly believe it himself. He said a deal was agreed on Thursday. This is what happened, right? This was when the deal was agreed. This is going through. I'm pretty sure about that, really. Look, I'm not in the know, but you can get a bit of a nose for these things, can't you? It seems like it's going to go through. This would be... If I had to put them in three, if you were to ask me to prioritise in three... Somerville, definitely. Wan-Bissaka, highly likely. I still feel with Füllkrug that we're being duped. I do, which I felt for some time. We're back in for Jean-Claire Todibo because Juventus can't afford him, basically. Simple as that. Nice have got... You know what it's like? You've ever been promised some money? You sort of spend it in your head, don't you? And obviously, Nice have done exactly that. So in their head, they've decided which players they want to buy. So they're thinking they're getting 35 million euros. That's what they agreed with West Ham. So they're not particularly keen to take Juventus's 20 million euros or whatever it might be. You can understand that as well. We got a number of other irons in the fire as well. So I still think we're looking for a centre-back. Todibo and Sole would be the two main protagonists there. Still in the market for a central midfielder as well. Look, as I mentioned, if you like your transfer gossip, you're going to be in your element at the moment. There's so much going on. I'm going to get this video uploaded right now because, well, let's be fair. By the time you've watched this, had a cup of tea, bunked off work... Well, you probably don't. Do you know what? How many of you, by the way, I'd like to know this. Let me get in. How many of you lot are watching this at work, like on they call it AirPods. I mean, they're called AirPods, or are they the trainers? I don't know. Whatever, right? How many of you are watching this at work? That's what I'd like to know, because you're very naughty. I don't think you're. I don't think you're allowed to do that. Maybe there's some of you that have taken your phone and you're looking at this update and you're on your tea break. I think that's allowed. Are you on a works computer watching this? Now, do you know what? I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's be fair. Everyone's working from home these days, aren't they? Seems that way anyway. Anyway, listen. I'll tell you what. If you are watching this at work, don't worry about it. Your secret is safe with me. I won't tell if you don't.